Alright, welcome back to the next part of today's episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be finishing up the background of this drawing. So if you enjoyed today's part of the episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. So the background part is not going to take too long. I got like a decent amount done with already, just like on, watching some stuff. Markiplier, Elementals Reborn, that stuff. The good old back in days YouTuber, which is very strange to think of nowadays. But yeah, that's what we were doing. So we're almost done with this drawing here. Just gotta do like some shading, texturing, and hope the frickin' the program doesn't decide to do a little stupid and screw up on me. It kind of froze for some reason, the program, when I was trying to save it. And it stays stuck there, and I had to exit out the damn thing and have to recolor in the road portion and, sidewalk portion. Thankfully, it was just those. Still knowing that it happened regardless, but you know what? It wasn't a lot. It's very annoying when programs decide to just have a mental breakdown and just die all of a sudden, forcing me to fucking close it and reopen it again in the stupidest way possible, which is going in the task manager. But whatever. We got past it, and hopefully don't have to worry about that again. So yeah, not a lot of updates from prior. I kind of just like went back into Elden Ring with and just fucked around in the first area. I didn't really go past the ruins. I was trying to like get a handle of how the combat in that game works, because it looks like that a lot of enemies are going to do a crap ton of damage until I get the right equipment in terms of armament that doesn't make me look like a frickin' nub. I'm trying to have a bandit character over here. Also, I only had like an hour and a half or so to do stuff. I might go back to God of War and farm up some hack silver, though, in order to get enough money to upgrade the Valkyrie armor and then murder the ever-living shit out of that fucking bitch, hopefully. Hopefully with enough durability and enough damage. Part of me wonders if I should be using the Leviathan axe or, the Chaos Blades. I was trying the Chaos Blades, and it was doing pretty good, and then didn't do any good. And it became more of a pain to try to keep up with the goddamn attack, so I feel like I just need to max out completely. And the only way to do that is to go into the Niflheim and farm up some hack silver. Yep, that's what we're going to be doing, probably. Because I want to try to at least 100% the game before I move on over the Ragnarok. I don't know if I feel like dealing with the frustrations. And then again, I don't know if I feel like dealing with the frustration that Elden Ring might bring me. Because, unlike God of War, there's really not a lot in terms of durability. The parrying system I'm still struggling to try to figure out. And I did figure out how to do the backstab. But apparently I was doing it the wrong way, which was pressing L2 and R1 at the same time, thinking, oh, well, it's a button combination. Because what I did before was press L2, which was the parry mode, and every time I do that when I'm behind the enemy, they just took their sword out. I press R1 and immediately do the backstab. Because before, when I tried to do an R1 behind an enemy, I just did a normal attack. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to parry, and now, ooh, this is how I parry. L2 and R1. Apparently, no, I just wasn't close enough the first time I tried to parry. There's no, visual indicator telling me that you are now close enough to do a backstab. Which I guess kind of makes sense, since that's pretty much what most Soul games are. It's just they don't hold your hand. So you gotta try to figure out the controls on your own. I was able to destroy that spear guy though twice, and I cleared out the encampment twice. But I'm only getting into hand of stealth kills and sneaking around, and the cat's freaking tail's in the way, and not actual combat. I am trying to figure out how to do parries properly, but apparently that's very difficult to do, despite the fact that the buckler has the most frames to do it. And I'm just not getting the hang of the enemy's basic attacks and whatnot. No idea. I feel like I need to try to get myself the next dagger level. Because I'm sticking with daggers and arrows. Daggers and bows. Why? I don't know. I probably should do full-on shields and long swords, or whatever the hell they're called. Regular swords. But this is the class I chose. Whether or not I'm going to continue to play this game and not just switch over to Ragnarok while the controls are still fresh in my mind, and really depends. I tried going into this one door that's like to the left of, like with those two poison pustule guys and the dragonfly thingies. And there's this one enemy that took so many freaking arrows, wasted so many arrows. I went on like an arrow farming spree, just shooting birds and animals to try to get the, thin bones and feathers so that I can just make it instead of having to sift through, who knows how long of, trying to spend ruins to get my hands on more arrows from the merchant guy who we pretty much just became best friends with, because he's like, huh? But you were just here. And I was like, you're here again. Yes, this means that I'm either going to get some runes via selling, or I'm going to buy some runes via selling. Or some shit like that, I don't know. All I know is that I found out that those glowing-eyed skulls give me golden runes, so that was like a good way to get a little bit of runes early on. Still don't know if I would ever be ready to take on the freaking knight guy on the horse. Don't think I'm ever going to bother trying. The freaking normal enemies do a lot of damage. You kidding me? What do you think I'm going to do against the boss enemy at this point when I'm nowhere near the... maybe I should just try to practice dodging next. Because apparently you could just basically dodge almost every attack, right? Is that the case? I don't recall. I don't know how the hell Jacksepticeye did it, but he was doing it in a more optimized playthrough with a very specific build. I'm just going in with the idea of daggers and shields and bows, and not really doing too much in the way of full-on combat, but rather just sneaking around and just backstabbing enemies, and just... when the freaking sphere guy comes, I just run away, hide, and he's like, God fucking damn it, not this bitch again. And then he goes back into his normal instance, and oop, another backstab. Looks like he's dead. And, yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've just been sneaking around, pretty much just farming up ruins. I think we have over 500 health now, which is good. I feel like the best way I can go about doing anything is try to get my health up alongside maybe dexterity and stamina. Apparently, barrage I learned how to do. Really good bow technique for just killing off animals quickly for their, materials for arrows. It's just been a good way for me to get some of the bow and arrow practice in. I think I need like hundreds upon hundreds of arrows for that to even be any useful. And it costs 20 ruins just to be able to get my hands on the regular arrow from the guy. An arrow each. Which is insane. I mean, yeah, I get the game is mostly for, melee, but you gave us the option for range. Why not make it so that we can, at the very least, buy a shit ton of arrows? Well, sure enough, we got to where we needed to get to, which is 60 arrows. I think we're low on arrows again, though. So, I guess in the end, it didn't really matter. I'm not sure what I plan on doing. But this isn't going to take us too long, so maybe I'll just do some gaming, and then tomorrow, i.e. Thursday, the day that this video comes out, I get the story for this all written up. Maybe I'll attempt to kill the boss in the wolf den or something, I don't know. Maybe just do some grindings for ruins until I can get to a point where Okay, I only got like 100 ruins. It doesn't matter if I die and lose these ruins because it's literally 100 ruins that I can just get by farming these animals for more arrows. I don't know what the hell kind of fight I'm going to be coming across in that den. Probably a much bigger wolf. And I just gotta try to get the hang of dodging towards the enemy instead of away from them. I gotta remember, it's not like God of War where evasion is not really that viable. I evade into an enemy attack, take damage. But from what I've seen in most Souls games, you evade into an enemy attack just right, you avoid the entire thing. Of course, that requires you to get the timing right, but I don't know. Is evasion timing much more forgiving than parry timing? I still don't understand how to parry a wolf yet. I only parried some of the soldiers. And these soldiers are just like... They just must think I'm a plague because I'm just constantly murdering their friends. They're like, this is the 20th fucking time we had to restation soldiers to this fucking post. What the fuck? How do we keep dying to this fucking girl who just with a buckler and a dagger? Just a buckler and a dagger. Are you kidding me? Are you idiots not paying attention? Are you not paying attention to the sounds of jingles and jangles or some shit? And then he dies because he wasn't paying attention either. Because we're just out there stealthing. Stealthing around. I am not playing Elden Ring like most people would play it. I'm literally treating it as a stealth game. Treating it like Deus Ex Machina. And if only there was vents. And I could just like hide in there and the enemy's like, where the fuck to go? And then they're just shooting around the vents or like shooting around the room going berserk screaming. One day I gotta get Human Revelations in this, or was it Human Revelation? No, Mankind Divided was the most recent one. Yeah, Human Revelations. I gotta like, at some point, not like recent or now. I gotta get that series on the channel. I've played Deus Ex for so goddamn long. Not the original, I don't think I've ever played the original. Human Revelations, right? Was that what it was called? I gotta remember. Deus Ex Human Revolution. That's what it was. Revolution. Okay, cool. I'm glad I remembered now by simply looking up. I've played that game so many freaking times, and I've done many different playthroughs. I believe I got a platinum in it too. I stealthed for like all of it, getting just the ghost achievement where nobody noticed me. And then I just had moments where I just hid in vents and shot people in the legs and then just hear them scream as they shoot the vents and throw their grenades. It's funny when you think about it because they're wasting so much of their freaking money and I'm just here with like very expendable bullets because I could just stealth through an entire section and have like a briefcase or something full of bullets. And the enemies are just wasting all this money when I'm just here being like, yeah, I got like hundreds of bullets because all I do is stealth. But then again, I might just mess around enough to where I don't have bullets. It's pretty funny to think about, really. Okay, I think that's all that I can do for the background. The background is relatively taken up by a lot of stuff here. Alright, let me get Daamodarah up here. I don't think I have any electric here, do I? Not quite. I'll just use the electric glow that I have here. Which now that the electric glow has gotten the colors in with most of the background, it looks a lot nicer. Although a lot of it is behind the dragon, so I guess really only this part there was, yeah, anyways, yeah, that's a fun game. I think I could get it on Steam, right? I think this is still accessible on Steam. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Deus Ex Human Revolution. Director's Cut for $20. Why the hell are you asking me for my birthday? You already know how fucking old I am. You got it. You had the day right, but you got the month wrong. Idiot. Yeah, $20. Huh. Maybe one day. I don't know when. But yeah, I could do that. at some point, if I have vague memories of how to play that. And then there's Mankind Divided, which... How much is that? Okay, really? How much was that? 30. Huh. They gotta make another one of those. Apparently there's the original Deus Ex as well, alongside Invisible Wards and Revision. Look, I only know the Adam Jensen era. I have no clue who the other guy's name is even. So, yeah. Maybe one day in the future. Alright, electricity. So, Daamodarah is going to have lightning limbs. Because he's activating his, what do you call it? Why can't I see this? Okay, let's do 10 for 10 then. Or 100 for 100. And now I gotta figure out, like, the exact size that this needs to be. And the problem with trying to get a certain electricity look, I gotta really, like, do this in a very particular format. Let me reduce the scatter. Try to get this right to close. Yeah, I gotta try to adjust how I do electricity. So this seems just about right. Maybe a little bit of this over here, taking up most of his legs. And then some electricity on his arms. The Prince's Gambit. He initiates an ability that allows him to essentially weaken the creature. That will then allow for Gwyneth over here to deliver the finishing blow. There's still more here that I gotta do, like give Gwyneth a nice little fireball here and give Ariella a nice something and get through shield. But outside of the effects here, then there's just the shadows and all that stuff, which should be easy. The electricity glow, which should be overlay. What you doing, cat? Why you doing that? Probably like, I don't know, 50. A nice electric glow. Maybe at 30 or something. And maybe we'll go on ahead and have maybe a vivid light or another overlay, but at a much higher instance behind most of him, probably. Where's the hair? Okay, I can have it here. Electric outline, which doesn't make any sense because it's not going to be an outline, but it's fine. Vivid lighting. It could work if done properly. Let's see. I'm going to have to do some stuff. I think I can manage this. Yeah, nice glow on the electric dagger. Not like actual a dagger thing. More like a, what you call it? A dagger made out of pure electricity that he created. Of course, because that makes sense. Given the certain abilities that people have in this universe and whatnot. Now that brings us to 50. It won't be too much. And then we'll look pretty good. Alright, awesome, great. I don't know if Gwyneth has any fire in her area, does she? Ah, she does. Good. I think I only really need, like, red and yellow. Yeah, sure, orange is nice sometimes, but red and yellow is really cool. Alright, Gwyneth. Let's go to your wand real quick. Fire. Fight fire with fire. Which I guess technically any fire-breathing thing probably doesn't have too much resistance to fire, as much as you would think they would. Like, again, it depends on the creature at hand here. If it's like a creature made out of lava, for instance, it has a large resistance towards anything fire-based. Because technically, fire would get consumed by the lava. As a matter of fact, it probably would heal the lava-based thing. But a wyvern with scales, normal-looking scales, probably is not going to be able to absorb the flames and utilize the flames of the other creatures, or in this instance, humans, to be able to basically just fight against them. That's impossible. Because these dragons don't necessarily have that ability. At least this one doesn't. There might be some that do because they have a much more specific build, but this one seems to be basic. Which makes sense. This creature is in the middle of the entire world, kind of. The middle of the world shouldn't be filled with too many insane creatures. Because if it is, then not a lot of people are going to be able to survive as well. Alright, water. I don't even think I have any water here, do I? I could probably just do the wand glow thingy. Like, you know, like a little water mist thing being created, coming down from the sky, and eventually getting down to, you know, to this guy over here who's just trying his damnedest to avenge her children's death. But she's going to end up getting killed instead because, let's be honest here, these are the main characters. You can't kill off the main characters this early. Of course you can't. Now you gotta save that for the end of season. The end of the show. Oh. But then again, I guess if the show is named after your character, chances are your character isn't really going to die, but everybody else probably will. I'm sure you know what series I'm talking about. One that still ticks me off to this day what occurred. One that I have Luna planning to go to make things right. And, yeah. Don't know when the hell I'm going to do that. But there's plans in mind. I have plans. Now, the question is, how long will it take before I can get to those plans? Well, no clue. But I'm hoping we can eventually get to creating the things that need to be created. Alright, it's going to be where your rock shield is. A nice little rock shield. Right there, preventing you from taking any substantial damage. And it makes sense. Is fire really going to do anything to dirt and rocks? You got a nice shield protecting you from the dragon's potential attack. That's why his hand is here, alongside his arm getting ready to swing the sword at this dragon's nape. I just realized something. You probably need to be no, neck. Neck, I say. You need to be a little bit more adjusted. It also doesn't help that there's a red line here from the freaking red bit. I would say the best way to probably do that and fix it is to do this. Did that help? I can't tell. Did that help? It did help. Slightly. At least now the red line is not, wait. Actually, yeah, wait, that would make a lot more sense. Delete most of the lines. Now it's combining. I mean, yeah, you see how that is there with that there? Makes sense. Just gotta be careful not to delete too much of the red lines. One thing I wish wasn't the case is that the red lines wouldn't just freaking... Or the lines of the thing, if you're going over it, just do that and go over. The one downside to anti-aliasing, or whatever however the hell you pronounce that, that's the wrong one. I want to go to the rock shield. Anyways, yeah. Whoops. Man, I would say these 4 would probably freaking slay in the Elden Ring universe. Primarily because they're just filled with a lot of magical abilities. Ganther over here with his durability, being able to block indefinitely. I mean, let's be real here. Our character is freaking weak as hell. They don't have a lot of stamina. You got characters like this. A lot of anime characters seem to have, like, unreal stamina. You know, I was thinking about what, like, if you were to somehow, I don't know, mod God of War Kratos into Elden Ring, not the original one, the 4th and 5th one, if you were to somehow mod Kratos into that game, just how different would it be? I mean, basically, nothing really changes in terms of the boss fights because, you know, Kratos is unable to jump. Although that might be difficult on how to deal with most bosses that have like an AoE where you can jump to dodge. Unless you give Kratos the ability to just, you know, do the roll ability that just like stops that from being a problem. But how cool would it be if you can mod the Kratos into the game? And it basically plays like God of War, but it's Elden Ring. I'm sure there's a mod like that. I'm pretty sure there is. Although I don't know if I'd be able to download that mod on the PS4. Hell, you know, if given the opportunity, I would probably try that out. That seems like a lot of fun. God of War combat was pretty cool. And hell, it would be a hell of a lot easier to initiate parry. The only issue is you wouldn't really have like the yellow or red thing. Well, I guess yellow just means that you can't really block that, but you can parry some of them. And red is you can't parry them, and you have to dodge them. So I guess technically speaking, well, I don't know. We might not even know which one can be parried or not. I feel like Kratos would have a much easier time parrying because all you gotta do is press L1 and that's a parry. Where this one you gotta press L2, get the animation just right to hit the enemy's arm, and then you parry them. Or at least that's what it seems like. I don't know, I've tried parrying on multiple occasions where I think I'm about to parry, but then I don't parry for some reason, which is not cool. Completely different from the God of War parrying that I have, you know, dealt with. I know they're completely different games, but it's kind of a similar system with blocking and parrying and, you know, the usual attack. I still want to try to fucking kill that Valkyrie bitch. Somehow. I just don't know if I want to sit through Niflheim and grind that a bunch. I don't feel like sitting through an hour or 2 attempts of trying to kill this fucking bitch and learn her abilities with very little to no defense or attack damage to try to make the fucking fight go by a lot faster. If I could just get a lot more attack damage to try to make the fight go by faster, with more defense to try to get the fight to, you know, not end as quickly, that would be great. At the very least, then I would stand a much better chance than having to just sit there for like 10 minutes, hoping I don't misinterpret a freaking move that's supposed to be this, but no, I was supposed to evade that, not block. Annoying. I will say, Atreus' wolf ability and the L2 for the Chaos Blades that allows you to get health back is a really good way to get health back. Provided I have Rage, I could probably have 2 different ways to get my health back up to potential max. One that's only can be used once per fight, and another one that can be used on occasions throughout the fight. That's like my best option here. I mean, I could just try to beat the fucking bitch on my current set and just make sure I have full rage before going into the fight. Or I could try to up... No. It depends. Valkyrie armor does seem to give a decent amount of defense, so maybe I can go for a couple of upgrades instead of just farming up hundreds of thousands of hack silver for that. I'm debating what I want to do after this, because I'm going to have more hours on hand. This isn't going to take us too long, thankfully. A large majority of this creation just consisted of the characters, because obviously the characters take up most of it. And, yeah, they're supposed to be like it's a weird perspective. I wanted it to look a little bit more warped. That's why the houses look like that. It gives you like a warped perspective, like the entire environment is on fire because of this wyvern that's just going berserk mode. So it might look a bit off, but that's the idea. The idea here is to make it look like the entirety of this town on this side where the wyvern is at is being warped by the flames. Not like it's actually being warped, but it's more like a stylistic choice. And now, was it a good choice? I don't know, probably not. I'm sure some people will be like, yeah, I can understand it. It might not look, as good as it would normally, but the perspective is there, despite the fact that my perspectives still need a lot of work on certain occasions. It's like you're trying to get a nice little, like, warped kind of movement thing, and then, like, here's the thing, like, going here. It's supposed to look... Wait, hold on. Okay, it's supposed to look like, here's the road going downwards, and then a slope, and then down here is the other road. Kind of. I mean, that was the idea that I was trying to get with this road here, and this perspective. So, yeah. There's that. Oh yeah, there's one thing I can talk about. This doesn't really, I don't know how the hell this is gonna, go down because I'm not gonna watch this. But you know that weird freaking Scooby-Doo freaking parody thing without the Scooby-Doo in it? It is apparently happening, I believe, early today, or has pretty much already happened. On the current instance of recording this, it just happened tomorrow. Yeah, that. With not Shaggy and Black Velma with Asian Daphne and Fred, who probably has pencil dick. Sorry, Fred. I'm sorry this has happened to you. Yeah, that one. Right. See, I don't know what to think about this because this is not Scooby-Doo. There is no Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo does not exist in this alternate universe. And, from the trailer, from what I've seen, I'm not into it. I'm sorry, or not sorry, because it seems like a lot of people just don't like, if you've read about every people talking about, even some of the reviews apparently say that it's about as bad as you expected. Which is baffling because I don't know what the hell HBO Max is doing. You've heard about my gripes with HBO Max, what they freaking did to a lot of the anime that they had on there. Which, by the way, I finished Inuyasha. Pretty nice ending. We got Spy X Family right over here. I have no clue if you can see that. See that? See? It's going to be backwards, but see... Stop blurring! There. Yes. No, it's not a yes. How about now? Look at it. Look at it. Look at the spy. Oh, wait. That's actually right. Huh? Okay, I guess that isn't mirrored. Okay, cool. Yeah, you saw it. You saw the thing. And also you saw the fact that we were still on episode 54 of Inuyasha. Do not worry. We saw the whole thing. Naraku got his ass handed to him, alongside a Shikon Jewel. Just that for some reason Crunchyroll does not have the rights to the rest of the seasons, so I watched it on Hulu. Thankfully. Apparently we have all the streaming service. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. Pretty sure we might have Paramount too. I didn't really bother asking. Alright, forgot I had this here. So yeah. Yeah, indeed. We got that to look forward to technically earlier tonight. I don't know how that first episode's going, but I'm sure I'm going to like it, because I usually like most anime. I usually am and never really, deter... I enjoy most anime. is basically what I am trying to get at here. I think the only thing I never really enjoyed that much, but don't vehemently hate, was Pop Team Epic. And that's mainly like a Japanese Japanese robot chicken, kind of. It's like a robot chicken for the west or east side. That does not make any sense. But you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's like a robot chicken to an extent, but with a lot more references from Asia than, like, what Robot Chicken has. And I've never really been too into Robot Chicken. And it's kind of like in the same boat. It's like, yeah, sure, I could watch it on occasions if I want to, but I'm not really too into it. And like, I guess it's just the parody aspects I'm not really too into, as much as I probably should be with the kind of things that I create. Although then again, that's more so just parodies, kind of like poking fun at stuff. So yeah, I guess it has its moments, but it's not really like anything I'm too adamant on wanting to watch. No offense to those who created it, it's just like, it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, you know? Sure, it can be funny, yeah, but I'm not gonna just go out of my way and watch the entire thing, you know? I'm not gonna try to keep up with any new episodes, because I got other things to do. If I'm going to watch something... Oops. Well, whoops again. I didn't want to do that. If I'm going to watch something, I'm going to go on ahead and, watch things that I enjoy most. Or, like, give certain things a try, like... well, I gave Jujutsu Kaisen a try, and I am... adamantly waiting for the second season, which I thought was going to come out last year on December, but apparently that was a lie. I don't know who made that lie, but you lied. How dare you lie to me? No, it was apparently coming out this year. There's still the movie I haven't watched yet, and I can watch that on Crunchyroll, thankfully. And I don't know why, but the first time I looked at Spy X Family, I only saw like a small amount of episodes, and now there's 24. Was that like ongoing, and now all the episodes are out? Which, by the way, 24 is like the perfect episode count for a series. I don't know what's with all of these 10s to 11s as of recent, to 13s, but 24 is the perfect number. You cannot change my mind. I like 24. 24 for a single season works perfectly. I guess you could probably tell how many episodes there are going to be of Nova Guardian and Elementals Reborn, and the new series that I had finally finalized the name that I wanted to choose. Don't you worry. I figured out the name, but I won't tell you it just yet. I want to still keep it a surprise. A surprise, even though the name kind of isn't really going to tell you the entirety of the series. Kind of like how Elementals Reborn doesn't exactly tell you what the entirety of the series is. You see it and you're like, oh, that sounds like an interesting name. But you don't have any idea what that name is going to entail for the series. You have no idea. Of course you have no idea. Something about elements. Sounds like a fantasy series. But you don't know the plot, do you? You could probably take a wild guess. If you guess that the plot consists of a group of people who, eventually come together, like right here, the main four right here, to then be formed into a group to uncover the mysteries of the Elementals' rebirth, a strange event that caused a lot of the creatures on the planet to become increasingly hostile, more territorial, and whatnot, then you would understand the plot at that point and be like, okay, good job, you guessed it. Probably wouldn't be able to guess it immediately right off the bat, especially in the first few episodes. The first few episodes just introduces you to the main cast of characters that we're following. Despite Melina, who is going to most likely be abandoned at the end of this, but she will have her own life to go and follow, so that's not a problem, thankfully. Also, this shadow should not... Wait, what? Why is this... Is the fog? It's the fog that's making this fire look not as bright. Here, give me a second. There we go. Alright, awesome. Now for the effects. I can't wait to watch the first episode of Spy X Family. Seems like an interesting series, right, Kat? Apparently it gets dark, according to what most people said. I also might want to watch Chainsaw Man. I think they have that on here, right? I'm trying to figure out, like, what order I want to go and watch things in. Holy shit, 7? No, wait, no, that's not 7 seasons. That's dubs and stuff, right? Yeah, there's only 1 season, I was about to say. I really wish it wasn't like, yes, there is 7 seasons here. And then you look to the season, it's like, nope, season 1, but 6 different dubs, because technically Japanese is the original. So yeah, that's something to look forward to as well, I guess. Apparently there's a season 2, but I don't know when that's coming out, and I am not invested in it yet. So we'll worry about that later. Right now I'm going to stick to some short ones. Gonna probably go on ahead and get ready to watch Demon Slayer. I'll probably start back to episode 1. Because it's unlikely that Toonami is going to get the rights to air the next season. I was surprised that they got My Hero Academia Season 6. And we know that Attack on Titan is pretty much guaranteed to show on Toonami first because of a contract. So yeah, surprised to say the least. But a welcoming one at that. I'm still surprised they managed to get a show like freaking Made in Abyss. I mean, yeah, we're technically on the Adult Swim, what do you call it, but I don't know, Made in Abyss seems like it's a little bit more intense than what most things on Adult Swim is. Especially if you know what the hell that series consists of. Yeah, still not something that I would be able to recommend to anybody who's like, I want to watch some anime. Can you give me any recommendation that's unique compared to all the other shonen stuff? I'm debating in my head. Should I tell you about Made in Abyss? Is that something that you should be, going into if you're not looking into like the common anime that most people go into? I don't even know what the fuck the first anime I've ever watched was. I kind of just like ingrained myself into the entirety of that genre. I guess technically anime is a genre because one thing's for certain, the Asians have definitely mastered that particular art style. Something that I wish we would freaking do more of. Instead of doing these weird animations, I mean, I like the Rick and Morty animation. Inside Job is basically Rick and Morty animation, but I haven't gotten into that series yet, and probably for the best now, because, what was it, Netflix, was it? Decided, yeah, no, we cancel that shit. Yeah, sure, why not? People like that. Let's cancel it. Makes you want to punch them in the face, doesn't it? Because these idiots in charge of things really don't know how to fucking run anything. They have their own little agenda, apparently. I don't know. Feels like it. If people like the series, why get rid of it? What kind of nonsense are you doing in the background? Same thing with Close Enough. I was like, oh, I might be interested in that. Maybe I'll give that a shot after, like, I don't know. Well, I guess I probably wouldn't have given it a shot after Inuyasha because we're moving over to Spy X Family. But now I will never know. Then again, it's on Netflix, and we do have Netflix. I just have to get the password from them up there. I think we can still do the password sharing stuff here because we live in the same household. Yeah, I think that's the case. Right, Kat? I mean, I think they could just put me on their account or something. Just like we have on Hulu. And now that Hulu has basically just been... oh, you know, I'm curious. I use this in the melody drawing. Oh, it just makes the area look darker. But that's not what I want. So, yeah. Now that we're done with Hulu, I don't know if we're going to be going back to it outside of, like, One Piece when the time comes. When the time comes and we watch enough one-season things, we'll go over to One Piece and watch that until we get to the time skip. And eventually, when Toonami decides to remove One Piece from the block again, we can pick up where we last left off on the, starting into the Fishman Island arc. And remind ourselves some things. Well, I guess it depends. It depends. If it gets taken off the block and we're like halfway into, what do you call it? Yeah, because we watch the episodes like 8 times a week now, right? Because, yeah, I got Sunday through Saturdays at 7, of course, with once Toonami ends, we add another one, so that's 8. So, yeah, technically... it's going to be 3 weeks. Starting Thursday, 3 weeks, we'll be able to finish up Family, or Spy X Family. Now, I keep getting the freaking names almost mixed up with Hunter x Hunter and saying Spy X Spy instead of Spy X Family. Why is it an X, though? Why is it Hunter x Hunter? Is there supposed to be some Hunter x Hunter action? If you know what I mean. Is there like good old-fashioned monkey, banging Menchie over here? Good old villain of one arc and I guess a girl who became obscure after her arc is finished because she was never used again, which is kind of disappointing. Well, you know what? It don't matter because it was still a good show. And apparently it's back on hiatus again. Alright, I think I did everything I needed to do here. The only thing I can think of doing is make the houses that are on fire darker. So I'm probably going to go to highlight, put it at like 20. Maybe instead of that, I'll do this? I have no idea. Yeah, I feel like I should have an easier time with Elden Ring since I have a lot of experience with frickin' Souls-esque game, i.e. Hollow Knight. Not actual Souls game, because Elden Ring's the first Souls game I've ever played, because I'm like, you know what, screw it, I might as well give it a shot. And so far, I kind of am enjoying it, just sneaking around, not bothering with any of the bosses. I feel like that is the best way to play the game. Screw what anybody else would say, I just like sneaking around, backstabbing enemies, going Assassin's Creed mode. That's why I'm a bandit, for some reason, instead of, like, a warrior or a samurai. I don't know how the hell that would work. I think what I just need to do is just get into the habit of dodging enemies and try to dodge into them, get behind them, and attack their backs. I think you could do that, right? I should test that out. I should go to those shield guys, wait for them to do an attack, and then just dodge into them, hope the camera just does a full 180, and then I press R1 and just do a backstab. Can you do that? I don't know. Because apparently you are able to do backstabs even if the enemies are aware, but I'm not sure. Yeah, then there's stuff like the parry stab one kill thing, which I still haven't figured out how to fully do yet, which kind of sucks. Okay, I think the flames need to be a little bit more brighter. That makes sense. You probably can't see the smoke too well, but there is smoke back there. And there's more fire back here too, I think. Right? Fire? That is fire I'm seeing, right? Yeah. I guess the only thing I can really do here is to provide a fire glow layer. I don't know which one, maybe this one. And I'll bring it at 2 overlay. Okay, cool. I can't do that because I gotta select, click off that. Maybe not that much. Maybe like a little bit. Yeah, and have like the light here. I kind of didn't really do too much with the lights in that department because it was covered by a lot of the dragon. Well, I probably could delete some of the lights around the dragon's face so that that's not too bright there. There we go. I don't know if the perspective is right here because the dragon's supposed to be a relatively decent size. How big, you may ask? Well, probably like 3 times the size of these characters here. Just about, maybe. No idea. I'm going to get a little bit of this here to have shadows underneath that. Ganther's a little bit more closer in than you think. Try to think of the perspective like here. So like well, here. Like Daamodarah's right here. Gantru's kind of... Oh, no, that's close. Daamodarah's right here. Gantru's kind of inwards. Dragon's over here. Gwyneth over here. And Ariella further back here. In this direction, kind of. Perspective is such a pain in the ass, I must say. But I think that's all. As off as Gantru probably seems right now. I think that's pretty much all there is I can do here. Yeah, okay, cool. As far as I'm aware, I can't think of anything else I could do to this. Gwyneth's got a fire effect behind her wand. Daamodarah's got the lightning effect, covering most of his limbs. Gantru's got a shield up and ready, right up next to the creature. Well, obviously it makes sense. He's supposed to be a melee guy. And you got Ariella over here and Gwyneth over here getting ready to do their attacks. Double attack. The creature is about to die. This is a dying creature we're witnessing right here. And that is the case. So there we go, folks. A little less than an hour. Nice. Alright, good. Glad we can get that done with. So, thank you all for watching today's episode of Art Time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course... Previous episode of Art Time right over here, and since it's Thursday, most recent episode of Sonic Adventures 2 Battle. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Later.